Any tips for people bringing their own lunches in with them?
Yeah, I brought some stuff to show you today around making up a packed lunch and making it even a bit healthier. It's a good idea. In Northern Ireland, we do, and the UK in general, we do tend to give less healthy options at lunchtime. So it's important. Lunch is one of your main meals of the day, so it's important to have a good nourishing meal at that. So I've got some examples and we're going to build them into a lunch in this box here. So first of all, it's a good idea to put something from the bread, cereals and potatoes food group. So I've got a couple of slices of nice homemade bread here. In place of that, just to mix it up a little, you could put in something like a pita bread, or you could put something different in, like maybe a little pack of oatcakes, or if you've got some leftover pasta or rice, you could use that as well. That would be the nice base for your lunchbox. These foods are really good for energy, and they can be a good source of fibre too if you choose the whole grain versions. So secondly then, we're going to include some protein rich source. So I've got some examples here. For example, we could use a hard boiled egg, or one or two depending on the size of them. We've also got some nice piece of cheese here, a nice bit of cheddar, or you could have, for example, something like hummus, or a piece of cooked meat or cooked chicken, so I'll put that in as well. You can slice this up or grate it then, just slice or grate the cheese then to make it easier to eat. Next off then, we want to include some fruit or veg within the lunchbox as well. So I've got some pieces of cut up carrots and celery here. You could choose something different yourself. You could, if your child maybe prefers like small tomatoes or bits of cucumber chunks, you could put those in. Or because it's winter at the minute, something like a flask of nice vegetable soup would be really nice and warming for the child as well, if they're able to manage that themselves depending on their age. So you can see your lunch coming together here. Lastly, I'm going to include a piece of fruit as well. So I've got an apple here. You can get smaller portions of apples, which maybe your child would be, depending again on their age, they could handle better. If it's an older child, maybe a bigger one. Or just for a bit of variety, you could swap it, for example, for a banana. You could make up a little pot of fruit here. I've got pears and pomegranates just because they're in season at the minute, just to make that a bit different. And you can get nice little covers for these, or you could reuse a container that you bought. And also something like tin fruit again might just add variety to the lunchbox too. So this represents quite a healthy lunchbox, and there will be much more nourishment in terms of protein, in terms of calcium from the cheese, and vitamins from the vegetables and fruit, which really would be much better for your child than maybe giving something like just a biscuit bar or a packet of crisps. So it's also important to include a drink. So I don't have a reusable bottle here, but I have included some water with the lunch as well. So it's important to include a drink with that, or it could be a glass of milk. A very useful tip is to use some leftovers from the previous day to store them in the fridge. If you've got leftover stew, leftover soup, for example, or if you've made extra, you can use a container like this. This is a lovely bowl of chili with some rice, and that would be a very nourishing meal as well for during the day. Often lunchboxes contain a white bread sandwich made with cheese or ham, often a packet of crisps, and sometimes a biscuit bar. What we're seeing today can give a more nourishing and a healthier option to that would be lower in salt, that would contain more vitamins and minerals and fibre, and would be much better for your child.